Hey friends, it's Simone. Today I want to share my fountain pen wish list with you. It was made in the end of 2022 and has stayed in that exact order since the day that I made it. I think I might have changed it just before the change of the year, but this is how it looks like right now. Until the end of 2022, I have put or wanted everything that I saw somewhere that I liked onto that list. And I've been kind of on a fountain pen sprint. I purchased pens in a very quick order. And I have learned since that I didn't really take the time to explore what I added to my collection in order to inform future purchase decisions. This year, I slowed down a lot, and I started to really explore what I like and what I don't like in my fountain pens. And my goal is to use what I have learned in these past 4 months to talk about all the things that are on my list and then take some of those pens off because they do not make the cut, rearrange the list according to my current priority, and then see where we're at and how many pens will still be on that list. So let's go through this list together and remove or change the priorities. Let's add maybe some new ones. These are the new ones, because even though I already know a lot about what I like and what I don't like, I'm also still in an exploratory phase for some things. Okay, I'm going to start with this, and I will add pictures and maybe samples if I have them here to tell you more about these pens. So this pen is the Ranga Monterey. They have a lot of nib options that you can purchase with this pen. For instance, what I'm interested in is cursive italic nib or an architect nib in a finer grind. Before I started this video, or also the research, thinking about what I'm going to tell you, I was 100% sure that I'm going to remove this pen from this list. However, I just looked at it again, and I'm not sure that I really want to remove this nib. I love the clean design. It totally speaks to me. That is something that I like in my pens. And now I'm looking over here to the pens that I have out here, which, this is not clean. This is also not clean, but maybe I can explain a little bit more when I get further into this. I do love clean designs, just like this. And maybe, for instance, the Lamy 2000, those totally speak to my little architect heart. And so this pen that you see here fits exactly into that design scheme. And so I'm not sure I should remove it just yet. I also do have ebonite on my Opus 88, which is currently not here, that I like. But yeah, so I also researched the grip section, and it is 11.14 millimeters, if I'm not mistaken, or even 11.4, which is my preferred grip width. And it also comes with number 6 Jowo steel nibs, which is where I'm going to focus my collection in the future. So it would fit all of those details. So I am not going to remove this just yet. Now, this is not a fountain pen, so I can just remove it and put it someplace else. It says Rickshaw, Bagworks, Pen Roll, and 2-pen koozie. I am currently using the single pen sleeve for the pens that were loaned to me, the 2 expensive custom 823s. I have 2 of those pen sleeves, and I really like those. And I also like the way these things work. I'm currently also using the this one, the Sinclair, but all of my pens touch each other, and especially when I don't really 100% know if I keep a pen, I might want to keep it safer than this and just separate so that it keeps its resale value. And so I'm thinking about getting those, but I'm taking them off because they're not fountain pens. Maybe at a different day, maybe at the San Francisco Pen Show. That is, just as an aside, currently my plan that I'm still not buying anything until that weekend, and then the first purchases will be made there, and then I will slowly ease back into adding or destashing some of my pens. All right, that's gone. Then the next on the list are Franklin Kristoff pens. They also speak to my design preference. They are very clean. This one is still clean. It's colorful, but it is very, very pleasing to my eye. It has tension. It's just, this is what I personally prefer in pens. Maybe color blocking, not the swirly kind. So even, let's back up. I originally thought about commemorating each San Francisco Pen Show that I go to with adding another pen to my Franklin Kristoff collection. And that is really a cool idea, and I like it as a concept, but it also means that when I'm always only buying Franklin Kristoff pens, I cannot really, depending on how big my budget is, but let's assume it's not that big, I can't really experience other maker pens because my funds always go to Franklin Kristoff pens. Whereas I don't really have a problem with giving them my money, but there's so much other stuff out there that I would love to experience and try, that I would maybe take a step back from that for now and then come back to it at a later date when I think that this is something that I want to do. Currently, it is not. I do still, so I'm really, I should rethink that approach, and I am. I'm taking a step back. I am really drawn to these kinds of clean designs, so I love looking at the, now this is slipping my mind, the primary manipulations by Jonathan Brooks. They are so amazing, but I don't really see myself as someone having that pen in my pen collection. I can appreciate the art, the craftsmanship, and the work that goes into making the blanks and then also the pens. But those pens just are not me. I'm just not, the marbled designs, the swirls, and all of that just really doesn't speak to me. And so I love looking at other people's pens that look like that, and I just swoon over them, but I don't see myself adding those pens to my collection. So yes, Franklin Kristoff is definitely an option that speaks to that design aesthetic that I prefer. But I do see other pens, other makers that are maybe a little bit more laid back or have blanks that are less out there. I'm gonna add a picture right here from a pen by Walltown Pens that I actually really like, and that also, let's skip all the way down here to Schoen Design. Their pens are amazing as well, and even though they have like their signature, maybe they have a lot of colorful aluminum pocket 6 pens. And again, where I like them a lot, I am more drawn to their Ultim material, and I can see myself adding that one as my next maker pen, or maybe a Walltown pen. I need to figure out, I did some research on all the other section widths, but I forgot to do it for the Ultim. I'll put it on the screen right here, but those are definitely on my list to try. So let's go back to Franklin Kristoff for a moment, because it does not only say the pen, but also plus spare nibs, and then I tucked under it number 6 Yobo nib custom grind. First of all, I am really enjoying the SIG medium nib on this number 5. Model 45. This is a number 5 fountain pen nib, and where I really enjoy the nib, I don't use this for long writing sessions because I really get hand fatigue with this. I do have problems with my neck. I have a pinched nerve. I have arthritis in my shoulder, and I can really feel it at the moment that when I'm using pens with thinner sections, I start to feel hand fatigue very fast. My whole arm starts to tingle because my nerve is pinched and it's too strenuous for my arm to use them. So I would love to get a number 6 SIG medium nib. They also have cursive italic nibs, which they do have too. So that's an option to do here. I know that Ranga is also going to probably be at the San Francisco Pen Show because Peyton Street Pen is local. That could be a thing. I am also looking at maybe getting a nib ground at the show. So this is all very close together. The only nib that you cannot buy separately from their pens at Franklin Kristoff is the Nagahara nib grinds, because they have so very few. They make it a requirement that you buy a pen plus the nib, which is totally understandable and fair in my opinion. Now let's see. I have Pilot Custom 823 or 743 on this list. I currently have this pen on loan. I actually have 2 right now, but I'm sending one back at the end before you even watch this video. This one, however, I am allowed to keep for a long-term loan. And so I am going to remove this actually from this list because it's not on my forefront right now. This is going to stay with me for a little while. And maybe I'll end up keeping this one, not 100% sure. If I were to purchase this for full price, I probably might opt for the 743 because it is more suitable to my personal fountain pen use. I like to change pen inks fairly often. But if I'm going to keep this, I am not going to ask questions about the filling mechanism. This is not a deal breaker for me. All right, let's move on to the next pen on the list, which is the Twisbee Diamond 580. I put this on my list because I really want to experience this pen again. I have owned a Twisbee Diamond 580 before and I sold it because it was too heavy for me. And that's why I would like to try. One of my friends offered to send hers to me so I can test it again, and I might take her up on her offer. I declined at first, but now I'm thinking maybe I should take her up because the grip section of the Diamond 580 is 10 millimeters, which is smaller than the nib section on many of the other pens that I enjoy currently. And I also have experienced all of the different nibs, Twisbee nibs in my Twisbee Ecos. And so I don't really see a reason why I should purchase one of those pens. Even though they're supposed to be a little bit more upscale than the Eco, I don't think I'm going to have that much of a different experience with them. All right, let's change directions for a moment. I am currently using a Twisbee Eco Extra Fine as my everyday carry fountain pen. This is not in my pen case. This is in my throw all the things into this pouch. It is permanently filled with platinum carbon black. And I use this when I want to write with black ink in any of my notebooks. It is extra fine, so I can write on the small grid in the Hobonichi, but I can use this anywhere and everywhere I want. And I use it very frequently. The problem that I have with this is that it is a pen with a cap that I do not post because it makes this pen super unwieldy for me. And so, unwieldy. I am constantly looking for the cap, and it annoys the heck out of me. So I am thinking, or my thought was, maybe I could get the Platinum Corridas. On Amazon it goes around $50 to $60, or I could get the Mahjong A1 in extra fine, maybe even from AliExpress. I don't know what I put here. On Amazon it's $41. So if I'm just going for the cheapest option, because I don't really need a pen that is super expensive to have as this thing, I could even get it from AliExpress for less. I don't have a color preference. I just want a clicker pen. I know that I like the way this feels in my hand. So if I want to go with tried and trusted, I would have to get the Mahjong, because this is basically a Pilot. What is this pen? Vanishing Point dupe. With the Platinum Corridas, there would be the risk that I have the pen and then I don't like how it feels in my hand, which could be a thing. But I do like the way the Platinum Gold nib feels. And if it's any indication that the steel nib would feel, the writing experience would feel, I would probably enjoy this. Now, I don't have a Platinum Corridas to test or try. So again, probably also because it's cheaper, I would go with this. I'm not sure that this is very high on my priorities list right now because this works. It's just inconvenient. So that's why these are here. And so we'll see when I make the new list. Then the Esterbrook SD. I have the model that I would like to purchase right here. As I said previously, I am really not a fan of these really colorful versions of pens, acrylic pens. This is a really nice color. I like that it is a very small pattern on here. The only other SD that I would probably love or enjoy using is the sea glass. That might be one that I could opt for, but they look okay, and I can understand how other people really love them. Not necessarily for me, but this one I would love to own. But I really loved using this throughout this past month. I absolutely like the nib section, not the nib section, the grip section. This is how my hands felt great. My arm didn't hurt when I used it. So yeah, if they had different colors, I would probably consider adding more of those. But for now, I'd really like to just add one. What the good thing about this, or the great thing about these pens, is that they also use Yowo number 6 size nibs, and you can also, again, unscrew the section and put in any other Yowo number 6 nib. It would probably not be branded with Esterbrook, but that doesn't really matter to me. So it would fit into the Yowo number 6 nib. If I add more custom grind nibs to my collection, this would be a pen that can hold it. So that's an important factor in making a purchasing decision for me right now. I put down that I wanted to get the journaler nib. I still want to get a journaler nib grind. I'm not sure I would want to have this in the SD nib though. So I might book an appointment with Gina Solorino from Custom Nib Studio and just get another nib ground to that specific grind, but not purchase it already on the pen, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm trying to go faster. Twisbee Eco Custom Grind Fine Architect. Taking this off because what I said before, the grip section on this is, I looked it up earlier, I think it's 10 millimeters, maybe even 9. So that's too tiny, and I used this just yesterday for journaling and I felt very fatigued after. I have all of the nib sizes in the Twisbee Eco. There's no reason for me to get one. And if I want to get a custom grind, I want to get it on a number 6 Yowo size nib. So off the thing. Birmingham Penco inks, a lot of them. Yeah, cool. Not a fountain pen. Not sure why it's there. So I'm taking it off. Then I have all the way on the bottom, the Lamy Dialogue CC. This is a super expensive pen. In my opinion, for me, this is super expensive. Let's put it this way. I tried it once at a meetup. I liked that it's so fat and chunky. I'm not sure that I'm ready to spend that money on a pen just yet. But I can leave it on the bottom of the list. No problem. So then here's the 2 new pens that I'm thinking of adding. And I'm going to leave those further down in my list for sure, because for those pens right here, I already know what I like, what I don't like, if I would love to get them or not. These pens, I still have to do some exploring. Let's talk about the Kaweco Sport in brass first. The reason why I would like to try this pen is because I'm really, really enjoying the Travelers Company brass pen. This section is tiny. I'm currently using it in my weekly journal where I don't usually write a lot in one sitting, so it works. I love how it patinas and I love how it feels in my hands. So if I could maybe up this a tiny bit to the Kaweco Sport Brass, that would be cool. Now, I do have Kawecos in my collection. I actually reduced it because I didn't see the sense of having so many colors when I don't naturally gravitate towards them much. So that's where the hesitation comes in. And what I'm going to do to actually confirm, yes, I like writing with a Kaweco pen enough to justify adding this to my collection, then, I mean, I can always sell a pen later, but I would rather not spend the money on it and then have to go through the hassle of selling it when I already know that I won't enjoy the experience, if that makes sense. So in May, I'm going to use 2 Kawecos in my currently inked lineup, a Plastic Sport and a AL Sport, to just see how I'm gravitating towards them, how I'm enjoying the writing experience when I use them. The section diameter of the Kaweco is 9.4 millimeters. And so as I said it earlier, I was really grateful that Sarah from Ginger Peachy Stationery lent this pen to me, because it helped me so much in realizing that this pen is a perfect fit for my hand. Maybe the Kaweco Sport Brass is another one of those pens where I might want to fall back on a friend who owns this pen and is willing to lend it to me so I can use it for a month or so. And if not, you know, I can always sell it. It's not such a huge investment. Like, the price for this is $90, I think. If I go to Amazon, it's less. And I do have almost the amount in Atlas Stationers credit from you guys that used my link to purchase stationery from Atlas Stationers, so I could use the funds from them to purchase it. But I'm not sure I really want to do that. I also have been thinking of just adding some inks that I love and buying bottles and then doing giveaways and, you know, using the money to give away stuff to people. So I'm not really decided if I want to use it for myself or if I want to use it for the community. That's why I haven't really bitten the bullet, and I also am still exploring. I need to speed up this video. Right, next, last thing on the list is the Pilot parallel pens. I've been really thinking about maybe when I'm writing letters, adding the heading in a different color with a bold script. That would be so cool. I just did this with my watercolors. I can see doing that with a Pilot parallel pen. Again, I do have Amazon funds from 2022 that I just found. Didn't know I had them. I just thought I was earning so little on Amazon. I do still, but it's enough to fund the whole set of Pilot parallel pens. So that might be a thing that I do because I just want to play and explore. It doesn't really feed into this list, like adding to the collection, honing down on the things that I really enjoy for long form journaling, letter writing, things like that. This is just fun, play, art. So I don't really think that these can be intermingled, if that makes sense. And so now I talked about all the pens on my list. I removed some of them because they are out, and I want to rearrange this list a bit. So I'm going to put this on the very top of my list. This is the San Francisco Pen Show checkout, maybe get it list. So I'm removing the Franklin Kristoff one and put just custom ground here. I'm going to put this shown design Ultim right here, and I'm going to put this right here. This is the Esterbrook SD in honeycomb. Specialty nibs from Franklin Kristoff. Maybe I can add. See, this is where this standard pen comes in. Custom grind. Well, actually, this is exactly what I wanted it to say. So this is all San Francisco Pen Show. Now it gets a little fuzzy. I'm thinking of adding these together and making this the clicker pen. So and just put this right here and this right here. I am not decided which one it's going to be yet. I don't really know how I should go about this yet, so it's just going to move down here. Then I'm going to put the Kaweco Sport up here. It might move further up the list once I'm done with May and exploring the pens that I am using then. The Pilot Parallels, I think I'm going to have on the same level, basically. Maybe I'll get those in July, but then I wouldn't, I don't know. You know, I feel like this is more art, calligraphy, and fun, and this is more the serious fountain pen collection. And then I'm going to leave this right here. What I don't have on this list currently is maker pens. So maybe I should broaden this one up to maker pen. And the specifics that they have to be is a wide grip section and number 6 Yovo. I know that this probably has all of those, but you know, if I see something that speaks to me even more than this, then maybe I'd get that. Well, right now, I really want to experience that material. So this is my list at the moment. I think that this is a good thing to maybe this is what I'm going to add during the summer, and then maybe I'll leave those for the fall. This one, not sure. Maybe this for 2024. Who knows? I would really love how you make your fountain pen list. Do you let your past experiences help inform your future purchases? I know this, in my opinion, should be how it's done. I haven't done this before, and I thought maybe you wanted to see my thought process along the way, that you can create or rearrange your list and see how that goes. Let me know what's on number 1 of your list in the comments down below. If you would like to support my channel, I talked about Atlas earlier. I do have Ko-fi, where you can just fund a cup of coffee for me and help this channel out. You also help just by watching, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. That's all I'm really asking for. Keep the discussion in the comments down below. This is why I'm making those videos, because I really, really love interacting with all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Until then, bye. This video is a tiny bit outdated. I sold several pens that I talked about in this video already, and I purchased one that I had never thought I would be buying because it was a limited edition at some point. But now there is a Goulet exclusive. I'll show that in a different video really soon. However, this list is still very solid for me as a starting point to explore more, to add to the collection. And so I would love to know from you if you would love to see an update on how this list informed what I'm doing. Do you want to see one very regularly, maybe just before the San Francisco Pen Show? I have also decided that I am going to save the money from Atlas Stationers to add the SD, maybe earlier than the San Francisco Pen Show. That would release some funds that I could put into custom grinds. I'm still planning on the can't even think, the inks to give away, but maybe they'll come from my own money, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe you should just all go over to Atlas Stationers so I can give away inks. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to go, but that's my current plan. You know, I filmed this video 1.5 weeks ago, and there so much happens in 1.5 weeks here in my brain. So I'll see you all with an updated list. Leave a comment down below if you want to see that even in July, end of July, beginning of August, and then we'll talk some more. Bye.